Hey y'all, this is Software Focus, and today we're going back to basics with Camtasia. You don't want to miss this. Today's episode will be focused on the other animation options available within Camtasia. To start, I'm going to pull some sample media onto the timeline for demonstration purposes. Alright, we have our media here on the canvas. We're going to go to Animations. Then at the top, we're going to click on Animations to access the expanded animations list. Now, we already had a video on custom. That'll be up in the corner. And I will have Smart Focus in a separate video because it requires a little bit more explanation. But the other options we have here are full opacity, no opacity, restore, scale down, scale to fit, scale up, tilt left, and tilt right. It should be noted that any of these can be done with custom. This just gives you a pre-canned behavior. Like with custom, it can be applied to video, callouts, images, pretty much any piece of visible media. So we'll start with no opacity, so this should take any object that I apply it to and make it disappear, or make it transparent. So if I click and drag this down onto this white callout box, we see the familiar green arrow or teal arrow appear here, and you see that it automatically jumped to the end of the arrow and the white box is now gone. If I drag this back and play it, you'll see it disappear. You'll notice that a lot of these are opposites of each other, so we have no opacity, but if I drag full opacity down and apply it right after, you'll see it reappears. So if I drag this back and play it, it fades out and disappears, and it comes back. You can almost think of these as like transitions, except the item is still there, you've just temporarily made it disappear. Restore essentially restores an item back to how it was at first. So instead of doing the full opacity option, I could have, I'll remove that, add restore, and it'll restore it back to the beginning. It's kind of a reset button. So if I play it, you see it disappear, and there it's back using restore. Scale down, scale up, and scale fit all do kind of what they say. So if I apply scale down to the red callout box, you'll see that it shrunk a little bit, not much. And if I use scale up, it will scale up from the point that it was. So scales down, scales back up. Scale to fit does scale up, but it takes it to the size of the canvas. So if we scale to fit, it now fits within the available space of the canvas. So if we play these all, it shrinks, gets bigger, and it scales to fit the available space. We can further adjust the amount that it scales by clicking the right side of the arrow. That dot will turn red. And if we go to the Properties pane on the right and go to the Visual Properties, you'll see that the scale slider has been set down to 75. So if we drop this to 50, it shrinks even more. And if we play that back, we start at 100, and we play it, and it shrinks down to 50%. Scale up, if we take a look, scales back up to 100, but we can also set it to 200. And we can make it shrink really small and grow even bigger. And if we look at the scale to fit, again, this is scaling to the available space of the canvas. The reason this stopped at this point was because this little point here met the edge of the canvas, and so it didn't go any bigger. If I apply scale to fit to the white box, which doesn't have that, you'll see it goes till the edges meet the sides. The last two options are tilt left and tilt right, and basically it is an animation to pull an item to the left or the right. So if I tilt left and apply it to the option at the bottom, and play it back, you'll see the entire background video pushes over to the left. And we can use tilt right to do the same thing. In this case, it's already shrunk down to the left, so it'll move to the right. Here, I'll get rid of these other animations so we don't have a distraction, and you can see what we're doing here. To the left, slide over to the right, and then just for fun we'll use restore. Now notice I used restore and it put it back to the left, which is correct because it's restoring to the point before the last animation. So if we were to instead delete the restore and delete the tilt right and add restore after the tilt left, goes over to the left, comes back. I suppose what you could do if you wanted it to go to the left, go to the right, and come back, you could add the tilt right, then restore it back to the left, and then do a scale to fit, and it'll put everything back. So we push to the left, push to the right, push back to the left, full screen with scale to fit. And that about covers it for the other animation options other than zoom and pan, custom, and smart focus. I will cover smart focus in a future video. This has been Software Focus. If you like this video, hit that like button, or click subscribe to join the channel for future videos. If you have any feedback or ideas for future videos, please leave a comment down below. Keep focusing!